Alright, so I had this guy on YouTube, Sled, who wanted me to go in a little more detail about the mid-range vocals. Um, like I said, when I first started doing stuff on YouTube, I wasn't sure how well I would be able to teach stuff. I'm still not 100% sure how well I'm actually teaching anybody out there. If you guys want to leave me some feedback, that's great. So I guess I'll try to teach some mid-range here. The most important thing when screaming, if you want to be a screamer, with all the different types of screams that are out there, you actually first need to figure out what scream is best for you. Not which one you want to do, not right away. You figure out which one is working best for you. If you happen to be able to do the high screams better, start out with the high screams, work your way down. If you're better at the low screams and you want to do the mid-range screams, start at the low screams, work your way up. Because it's a lot easier to progress than to go directly into something. So, you know, if you're screaming up here, if you're already screaming up there and you want to get down, if you want to get down to the mid-range, it's going to be a lot easier. More people are probably easier at getting the high-pitched scream than starting off with the low. Because the low-pitched scream, that's something that it either is going to sound dead on or it's going to sound like shit. Like my low scream, in my opinion, I think it sounds like shit. I don't think I could ever be in a band and actually do the low scream. Just because I don't really like my low scream that much. So that's the most important thing. First, pick your scream. Then once you're there, once you've mastered it, that's when you're going to start going back towards the mid-range. The other way I can, try to teach it is, once again, pick a pitch in your head that you want to do. Obviously, if you're already screaming up here, if you're already going, oh, and you want to get here, oh, I mean, that's actually only about a 2 to 3 note difference there. But if that's where you want to be, you got to pick out that note in your head or on your guitar, or on your bass, on a piano, whatever the fuck you have. Pick out that pitch and try to work with that pitch. In one of my previous videos, I showed you how to basically pick that pitch and start warping it. Now remember, as much as people don't say it is, you do have to do about 50% of the work with your throat. Once again, it's right here. You're warping the sound all right here. If it feels like it's here, you're doing it wrong. If it feels like here, you're doing it way wrong. If it feels like it's right here in the back of your neck, you're fucking up your vocal cords. It's all right here. This is where you warp any sound in speaking, singing, screaming, yelling, no matter what you do. This is actually where it all takes place to warp it. That's that little muscle in there that either expands or contracts to change the pitch of your voice. If you do this, you can see that it's a lot more tighter. And if you do this, it's a lot more open. You'll feel it push against your fingers. So this is the area to do all that. Now when they talk about your diaphragm, everyone tells you diaphragm, diaphragm, diaphragm. That's correct. But a lot of people don't know how to use their diaphragm. Basically what you're doing is, it's like you're pushing with your stomach, not your lungs. You're pushing with your stomach. So, I mean, trying to actually explain that is a little bit difficult. Basically, you're using your stomach muscles. You shouldn't feel like you're taking a crap, but you're using your stomach muscles to kind of help push and warp the air. And it goes to your throat, which is the transformation. So, with that said, pick a pitch. Oh, that might actually be a little too low for mid-range. You can try going a little bit higher. Oh, that's only about 1 note higher. Then you're going to work with that, and you're going to warp it using both your diaphragm to push the air a little bit, and using your throat right here to kind of start to grunge up the sound. So it's oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Now another thing you'll notice, at the end, I actually started doing it a little bit wrong because I was holding it out longer than I'm used to. I started getting a phlegm buildup. When you get a phlegm buildup, that's not good. People think that if you have a lot of phlegm in your throat, that's going to help distort it. Yeah, but it ain't going to make it sound good. And then when you fuck up your microphone because of all the shit you've put into it, you're going to be a sad person. So I'd say I did screw that up a little bit. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm sorry about the phlegm. But that's the biggest way I can teach you to work with it, is to pick a pitch, start warping the pitch. I know it's a little bit harder when you're first learning to scream to actually hold out a scream. It's a lot easier if you just do choppy words. And technically you can do that. Pick a word, you know, I'm trying to think of a common metal word. Just pick die. So, you know, first you're going die, 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 die. And once again, it's all warping from right here. You have to keep that pitch in your head if you want the mid-range. If you're thinking about the mid-range, you have to keep that pitch in your head. Because if you don't keep the pitch in your head, it can start going over the place. You go, die, 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 die. And you can start getting all these funky pitches. So that's the easiest way I can think of right now to teach a mid-range. If you're still not getting it, if you can explain to me a little bit more what you want me to teach, I'll definitely try my best. Just leave me some feedback.